Got to give us what we want. Got to give us what we need. Our freedom of speech is freedom or death. We got to fight the powers that be.
You see, now Elvis was a hero the most. Elvis was the hero the most. Elvis was the hero the most. But girl,
what?
I'm trying to tell you something.
What?
Fight the power.
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 Oh, you just go.
You got to fight the powers that be.
I was gonna say. I just thought she was gonna repeat after me. Just fight the power. Y'all know what time it is.
Hey, sometimes you got to fight the powers that be. Cause them powers that be on some stuff.
Stay tuned for another edition of the Prison World Radio Hour.
Prison World.
The Prison World
Show is coming on. Prison World Radio Show. We gon' have some fun. Prison World.
The Prison World
Show is coming on. Prison World Radio Show. We gon' have some fun.
Welcome to all our global listeners around the world. Welcome to another edition of the Prison World Radio Hour. I am your host, Jenny Triplett, and attached to my hip is my co-host,
who gotta fight the powers that be,
Ismail, who has always been a part of my fight in fighting the power story. See, we go a long way back. We go a long way back. Did I say long?
That sounds too long.
I said long. Okay, we go a long way back.
Can't even say long, just long.
We go some years
long?
back. You know, we've been together more years probably than some people have been alive, most definitely. But my little story here about us going a long way back. When I was stationed in Norfolk, for some, that's the Navy. That's the Navy guys. And there was a serious outbreak between the people, our people, black folks, and the police. See, this isn't new. This isn't new. We've been a part of this, okay? This happened during a Labor Day weekend. It was like a Black Beach weekend down on Virginia Beach, which, you know, Norfolk, Virginia Beach, sister cities, not far away. And
I don't know nothing about Virginia Beach.
We didn't make it to the beach.
Ooh,
I
made it to the beach.
I feel like I'm telling this story to our grandkids, you know, because the year was 1980 something, okay? Well, they said it. 1989. 19
in the 80 and the 9.
That's right. They said that was Flavor Flav who said it, right? 1989 for the suckers.
Yeah, but that ain't how Uncle Joe would say it.
Alrighty.
Back then, in the 19 and the 80 and the 9.
Okay, anywho, we haul ourselves going down to the beach. You know, Black Beach weekend. We gonna go hang out with our peoples right down on the beach. We couldn't even get close to
them people was acting a fool.
We couldn't even get close to the beach. Traffic was a mess. The police had stopped all traffic to the beach and was turning people around. Folks had gotten out of their cars.
Them jokers turned on the car stereo system just to let them know.
Yeah,
you ain't stopping nothing up in here.
Folks had gotten out of their cars, walking down the highway, talking about fight the power.
Those back in the foolish days.
They were talking about fight the power. You remember that? They had their little fists up and everything.
What you mean? I heard the thump.
Now, me and you would have joined them, but
who would have joined? I don't join no foolishness.
We would have with the fight the power, because that's, you know, that was just us. But we both were in the military at the time, which made us government property, which made us subject to...
Whoa, slow your roll. I ain't no property of nobody.
Well, we were subject to the rules and regulations of the military and also military discipline. So, needless to say, we didn't do it. Because wasn't nobody about to get in trouble. Wasn't nobody have time to be going on lockdown over fight the power and trying to get to the beach.
What in the...
That was the little story I wanted to tell.
I still ain't nobody's property, though.
That was one of those instances where you had to pick and choose your battles.
I ain't never been nobody's property up in there.
But the song was very popular during that time. Like I said, it started out 1989 on the song. Okay. It was very popular during that time and perfect for the climate. Just as our guest today, Alia Sharif, does with her timely lyrics and speaks about the political, social justice, and economic climate that's going on right now. Every generation, I think...
this is a little bit more harsher going on right about now. I guess they ain't never stopped.
Exactly. So this
when did it stop?
This is what I'm saying. Every generation, I think, has their voice. Every generation. Public Enemy was us, and ours.
I wasn't no Public Enemy.
Hey,
I'm likely suspect, but I wasn't no Public Enemy.
We were fighting the power. I think Tupac was a voice for a certain time period, and now he's legendary. A lot of his songs that he's written and the lyrics that he's left behind is legendary as far as the struggle is concerned. Even before us, artists were using their lyrics in a way as protest songs and different things. Otherwise, you remember the 70s. War. Good God. What is it good for?
For killing people.
Absolutely.
That's what it did. It killed a whole bunch of people.
Say it again.
It killed a whole bunch of people.
And then, you had Marvin with Mother, Mother, there's too many of us dying.
Was it land?
Not the answer. You just had the artists.
Well, they done told them over and over again.
You had the artists that, that used their voices in a way. And so now we have that today. And she's going to be coming up a little bit later and, talking about the struggle and everything. And there have been some that have used their craft to revolutionize the masses. So just think about like Common and John Legend, with Glory. And that is bringing something from the 60s back, something that was old, making it new again.
Glory.
So activism is the new black.
Glory.
No, that ain't what they said. Glory. That ain't how it go.
That's the old lady said glory.
No, see, now you're going to take me back to old Negro spirituals.
Glory.
Old Negro spirituals or something. See, back then, they was what? They was wading in the water. Wading in the water.
And then that one lady was just saying, glory.
No, they wasn't saying that.
Glory.
Stop it. I think that's part of who we are.
Put your shoes back on, baby.
I think that's part of who we are, is to put our song in the struggle or our struggle in the song. Art imitates life and life imitates art. And that's pretty much who we are as a people.
Put that down, baby. Don't play with that.
Stop it. We've been fighting the power, or so I thought, for the past 8 years via our radio show. We've been fighting the power.
I've been fighting for people and my rights. That's what I've been fighting for.
We've been raising our voices, letting the masses know, pretty much spreading awareness via our radio show. And it goes some of everywhere. I recently shared on Facebook our country and state breakdown. But tomorrow, inshallah, I will do that more in depth. Because our country and state breakdown of where we reach the masses.
How you going to break it down?
Well, we have analytics. You can see the map right there.
Is it going to be Curtis Blow breakdown?
You can see. Oh, break it down, right?
I mean, I'm just trying to figure out what type of break. There are breaks.
You can see the map right there. Actually, it's up on my computer and see the countries that even people,
everybody can't see your computer from here.
Even people. That's why I said I would break it down on the show. But even people in Russia are listening to our show.
How you going to break it down?
Is that a good or a bad
break it
thing?
Down. How you going to break it down, though?
Shut up. Anyway.
I mean, there's different ways to break it down is all I'm saying.
This is episode 6 of our Black Muslimah activist series. I can either say let's go, or I can say the new way, let go.
Assalamu alaikum. This is your girl Alia Sharif, and you're listening to Prisonworld Radio Network.
1 in 7 Americans will struggle with addiction during their lifetime. Want to know how you can help? Go to heretolisten.com for tips and tools to help turn addiction around. A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council.
During a normal show, if we were doing our normal weekly show, this would be a segment where we would use to spotlight what's going on in the headlines around the world. It's our Prison World News segment. what's going on around the country, like our little sis Nabra, who was kidnapped and murdered in Virginia over the weekend. Very sad and tragic news going on, with Muslims, even around the world, with incidents that happen in London.
I wonder why them people ain't, the media ain't putting out there that all them Muslims march against ISIS over there. That's been
a while ago. And
well, doggone it, I hadn't heard about it.
Right. Well, it's just getting around social media. A lot of things we wouldn't even know if it wasn't for social media. And
that's a shame is all I'm saying.
We would also be talking about, the inmates that escaped from Georgia. They're trying to expedite back and some other things that's going on. So
nobody bruised or nothing on that.
No, they were captured peacefully and alive.
Black man would have been killed.
And alive, exactly.
You dying today.
Would have been killed. A Muslim would have been killed.
Ain't that something?
Without everything that's going on
Not
in
that
the
them
news.
people should be killed. Hold on, let me back up. I don't think nobody should be killed, but I'm saying it's still not equal treatment. Even though you killed someone, you still get treated better. I'm sorry, it is what it is.
With everything that's going on in the news, it's definitely a reminder. It means that we need to stay prayed up. We need to make those obligatories and some novels.
You just be doing what he told you to do in the first place.
Yeah, exactly, and just stay on it. It's our obligation. It's our obligation to pray and also to spread the word, to give the message, to give reminders, which brings me why we need to clear up some of these myths. Some of these Muslim myths that people tend to get it wrong. Just because they assume. Not necessarily because, I can't even say. But I think it's people just assume. Like the one...
Exhume. Hope they ain't exhuming nothing.
Assume. Like the one where Muslims try to convert people. No, we don't. Y'all get us confused with that other religion that constantly tries to convert people.
You don't see me trying to knock on nobody's door, waking you up in the morning. I ain't trying to convert nothing. I'm going to tell you the truth if you ask me, though.
Right. We only speak the truth. We relay the message, and we clear up some things. That's what we do.
I just speak the truth. Whether you believe it, you can believe the truth or not if you want. You can believe what you want to believe. You can believe your own stuff. You can believe what somebody been telling you all your life.
Right. A lot of people have been told wrong in life. Or
all my life.
Especially for the African American convert that came up in the church. Me. There's so many falsehoods.
A whole bunch of them.
There's so many falsehoods about religion that when you read and actually understand understand Islam, it becomes nothing but the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you Allah.
It is.
I've had numerous conversations with Christians. I can't even count on fingers, toes, elbows, and all of that. Numerous conversations. Some didn't turn out so well. And
I ain't arguing with nobody about nothing.
Well, you can't really have a conversation when someone wants to argue. Now, they start out friendly, like they just want to ask or have a conversation. And then it turns into a battle. Not a rap battle, but a battle of doctrine, pretty much. So are they really open to hearing what you have to say, or they just want to disprove you?
If you're having a conversation with them, I can tell you already that the majority that I've had a conversation with have already had a preconceived what I was going to say. So they're trying to counter what they think I'm about to say with what they think they know. And it's totally wrong and false. Although when I talk to them, I know exactly what they're going to say because I read their book. The problem is they ain't never read my book, so they don't, not my book, the book of Allah. They ain't never read the Quran, so they have no clue what's about to come out of my mouth. So they only go by what they was told or heard.
Right. So, like I said, not a rap battle, but a battle most definitely. And if you want to know something, I have to put it back in there again. If you want to know, ask a Muslim. Not Bill O'Reilly. you know, not someone who hasn't practiced the religion.
Ask, you can try to read it. You should read it, first of all, because it was word from God. But you should read it and try to get an understanding yourself. First and foremost.
I
mean, pick up a book. Pick up the book.
Exactly. Don't.
For which there is no doubt.
Don't ask to battle, because I ain't about to slap nobody. Okay. So coming up on the other side of break,
Dalikal Katabullah.
We do have
Rebuffy.
a rapper.
Dolil Mutakin.
A rapper, and she ain't gonna battle nobody, but she gonna break it down.
This is the book for sure, without doubt.
Alia Sharif.
For those.
Hold what you got. We'll be right back.
Okay.
You're listening to the Prison World Acapella Radio Hour.
Check out the latest books from Freebird Publishers for your incarcerated loved one. All right, we are back. We are in full swing with our Black Muslimah Activist series. We've been spotlighting some of the Black and brown sisters that are in the struggle. This sister coming up is deep in the struggle, knee deep, not just knee deep, she's just wee deep in the struggle. And she is a lyricist, a visual prowess, and creator of the Hijabi Chronicles. You may have seen her on stage at the Women's March in Washington, D.C., as she continues to use her art to advocate for social justice, civil rights, female empowerment, and human unity. So throw your hands in the air like you just don't care for my sister, Alia Sharif. Assalamu alaikum.
We had a concert?
Assalamu alaikum. What's up? Oh, yeah, we about to bring it.
What the?
Walaikum assalam. It's an honor and it's a beautiful thing to be on your show. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, alhamdulillah. The honor and pleasure is definitely all ours. And we're about to have a conversation here, okay? Because we need to have a conversation about this Black Muslimah activist thing here, because some people got it twisted. But before we do that, tell our listeners a little bit about yourself and some things that I may have left off the resume.
Yes, so thank you for that introduction. It was phenomenal. I would just add again, my name is Alia Sharif. I started the Hijabi Chronicles based off the fact that there is so many Muslim women in hip-hop that get ignored and overlooked, especially if you are a Muslim woman in hip-hop and you are of African descent. So that was an initiative that I took on in 2013. I performed for, dozens of people, thousands of people. I've opened up for Kendrick Lamar before, Mos Def. I've shared the stage with Alicia Keys, Janelle Monáe, and the humble list goes on. But yes, this is me. I'm live in the flesh.
Live in the flesh. Well, we're glad you're not in virtual reality, okay?
Right.
But,
can't be caught in the matrix or nothing.
Uh-oh. So, we've taken on this realm of activism and wanting to talk about activism, and we have a well-rounded group of people that we're talking to because people are being active in different ways. So what does activism mean to you?
For me, activism is something that runs in my family bloodline. I have a legacy of activism from my grandmother out there in civil rights. In Mississippi, who worked a lot with civil rights, and the organization SNCC. She also helped organize the boycotts with Martin Luther King's, a lot of his big speeches, getting people from Mississippi to Washington, D.C. My mother, she's Peace Action Answer. So I was in protests and different demonstrations since I was about, 8 years old, out there just in the streets. And, activism to me is just it's utilizing the importance of speaking up against issues that are constantly, bombarding our society and our public, whether it be the Muslim community, the Black community, the oppressed community. So for me, activism is a way to be heard and to also not just go with the consensus of marginalization or any kind of oppression or degradation to people.
Okay, I'm so glad, in several of your responses, what you were saying is being active in the streets, because I'm trying to get an understanding about, the people that sit behind an LED screen, and call that activism. Even though I spoke with a sister and she was saying the keyboard activist is just as important as the people that are actually out there doing it. But I'm really, really trying to understand beyond awareness, because even back in the 60s there were keyboard activists. There were people who were writing the stories and keeping the history, and that's why we have the African American Museum, all that history in Washington DC. But there were people actually out there and doing the work. And I'm almost wondering, has the shift turned to there's more people behind the LED screen than there's actually people in the streets? So tell us about the struggles of the trifecta of being Black, Muslim, and female.
Yeah, so to answer your first question, I would say, it is important that everyone realizes, like my husband says, everyone can't do everything, but anyone can do something. And it's important to know that though it's easy to say, all you're doing is Twitter activism, and you're behind the keyboard, there's some truth to that. There's a lot of fact to the reality of social media controlling the discourse. So if there's actual things happening on the streets and social media isn't hashtagging about it, like our issues on the streets really aren't covered. So, it goes hand in hand, but everything is necessary. If it's getting the message out there, it's important. But one of the things we have to look out for as far as the, activism behind the keyboard is a lot of the times if you're just posting, hashtags of this person got shot, this person got killed, and we're seeing all these killings on tape over and over and over continuously, it does something to our psyche where we're almost feeling at a disadvantage or feeling disabled because, what can we do? We're seeing this constantly. It gets us in a certain kind of a way of moving. So I do think there are certain things to be aware of if you're not going to be present out here, in the streets or at demonstrations or actually creating your own platforms for people to come. We just did an event called Unifying Our Struggle in Oakland, and we had different people from different organizations, indigenous community, homeless representatives. We also had defense training for people just on basic defense mechanisms. We've seen what just happened in Oregon with the two sisters on the train, and we are providing this for the community and for the public. So as a Black Muslim woman in the field, especially in the field of activism, I do find it is like a second nature. I used to often say that, a Black Muslim woman, that's a triple threat. So, I have to deal with discrimination based off my color in the Ummah. That's a fact. And, many of us Black Muslims have dealt with this reality for years. We vocalize it. We're silent. So I do feel like, for me, my experience being a Black Muslim woman in activism, I feel like it's a second nature. I don't feel like it's, anything, extra element. I feel like it's what I'm supposed to do. I hope I'm answering your question, but I feel like it's just a natural thing,
The question is answered from your perspective, and you're saying that it's something that's in us. It's like the metaphysical of who we are. We have no choice because this is what's embedded inside of us. So yeah, that's fine, because I definitely feel the same way. I definitely feel that I can't sit silent on a lot of things, that I have to vocalize and I have to be active. So why do you think our voice, the Black and brown voice, is constantly being left out of the narrative?
We are already marginalized in a marginalized community. And I feel like, the history of Muslims, there's been a lot of, I would say anti-Blackness. And because of this, we are erased. There's a big conversation of erasure going on right now. And, we're not looked upon sometimes as being the standard because of our complexion. And I do feel like, a big part of this is it goes back. It goes back. It's systemic racism. It's systemic white supremacy that has affected so many different communities, the Muslim community and beyond. So I feel like when we're asked, why aren't Black Muslims, in the spotlight or in the media being covered like, any other Muslim that's trending or whatever, and it kind of comes down to that cold, hard reality. Like, is this a purpose? Is this purposely being done because of what? And, I think it's done so much that we have to start asking, like, a direct answer. Like, I'm writing an article now about, different racisms in the Muslim communities, because I'm at a point where, I've talked about it, I rapped about it, but it's ignored and it's silent. And, our narratives are recreated, repackaged, and resold.
Yeah, so, I talk about it a lot, so I definitely understand. And, we talk and teach. I don't want to say preach, because we teach more definitely than we preach about.
I don't be preaching.
No, but you be saying some stuff, though. You be saying some stuff.
I be keeping silent.
You use this as a pulpit, okay? But
I don't be going to church.
Teach about. You can take them to church, though.
I don't be going to church now.
Take them to church. Take them to church real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna take us to break, but I just wanted to say that we use this as a teaching platform because we want people to understand our vision and where we come from and the level of diversity.
I want people to understand I ain't shutting up.
And a lot of times, if people don't understand where you come from, they just don't understand where you're trying to go or where you're trying to get to. But we're going to continue the conversation. We got to pause for the cause, go pay some bills, and hold what you got. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Prison World Acapella Radio Hour.
Hi, this is Willie Triplett from Ready for the World, and you're listening to the Prison World Acapella Radio Hour.
All right, we are back, and we are having an enlightening conversation with Sister Alia Sharif, talking about Black Muslimah activism and a whole bunch of other stuff, okay? And so I just want to know, Alia, because you've been on very prominent stages, and with Muslims, is being prominent enough?
The last part of that question was with Muslims being prominent enough?
With Muslims, is being prominent enough? Is having your face known, your name known, appearing in different places, is that enough to, for the message to get across?
No. It's not enough, and I've recently experienced the reasons why that's not enough. I understand, and I'm very humbled, and I will work with it, but I understand the dynamic of being Black and Muslim. You are going to have to work harder just based off the sole fact that you're Black and Muslim. So, I've done a lot, and I never feel like it's enough because, I
say it again. Oh my gosh. Right. I'm right there with you. Go ahead.
No, yes. I feel you, and it's just so much going on and so many different issues and perspectives that, I can't be satisfied with just, the release of one thing or the appearance at one show. Like, when you're really dedicated to activism, that inquires changing the world, changing perspectives, uplifting the people. And I do feel like I have made several appearances. I performed at the Women's March in D.C. in front of 550,000 people. And I feel, especially this last 2 months, have been experiencing and witnessing the, violent erasure of my contribution to the activism, to the music scene. And, the beauty of it is when you know a historical background of, Black in general and the caste system and white supremacy, kind of gives you a bit of a balance, because it's not like, you know, oh my gosh, I'm the only person in the world that this has ever happened to.
Right. And I just want to stop you there for a second, because I'm going to get into another question in regards to the legacy. But speaking about the culture of Black Muslims, and I just want to say, and I have to say it because I'm straight no chaser, and I give it to people just like that, the real. I was a little disappointed at our representation at that march. You know, even being in D.C. with the African American Muslim, the African American Museum of History and Culture, and all of what we've done and represented as far as civil rights and social justice and human rights and everything, and the history that we have, the representation was lacking, which means I feel that they're trying to take over the narrative. So that's my next question, is how has Malcolm X's legacy helped us or failed the Black community? Or are we helping it, or are we failing it?
You know, I would say it's a mixture of both as far as Malcolm X's legacy. You know, how Malcolm X has helped us. Well, for instance, at the Women's March, going back to the representation of Black Muslim women, a lot of people on my social media networks and in my personal life told me straight up how they felt about Black representation in general there, and particularly Black Muslim representation. And during my speech, something that I was, you know, I'm inspired by Malcolm X. I'm looking at a whole stack of Malcolm X books on my shelf right now. And one of the things that I said, you know, I didn't, you know, there was so much going on in my mind. You know, the speech was very impromptu. But one of the most important things I said and that I will take from the march is, hello, my name's Alia Sharif. I'm out here and I'm representing the Black Muslim community. And that, to me alone, was following the footsteps of Malcolm, because I let it be known in a sense where I'm coming from. I know we're not popular. I feel like because we're marginalized and we're not the, you know, commercial storybook face of a Muslim woman or man when you're a Black Muslim, I did find it important to represent at the Women's March and to state in front of 550,000 people, I'm here to represent the Black Muslim community. And, you know, that wasn't me, you know, trying to take any type of charge. That was me stating the presence, stating the obvious, speaking for those who were like, where is the Black Muslims at? And, you know, I felt like a lot of women deserved, that I knew deserved to be on that stage and that I would have personally picked, but it didn't go that way. And, you know, exactly, you know, there's a lot of women, a lot of Black Muslim women that have done tremendous things, that have set so much of a pavement for the Muslims and the Black Muslim men and women in 2017. So, you know, I was making dua up until the point I said it, and Allah knows best, but I did represent for the Black Muslim community on stage in front of all those people, because I'm like, we are here.
As Black Muslim females, you know, how important is it for us to take the reins of leadership?
It's very important. It's very important because, you know, no disrespect, but, you know, women, we have so much more than what they make us out to be when they objectify us, and they, you know, act like we only have one element, which is, you know, beauty or fashion. Muslim women, I feel like we can set the record straight, set the story straight. We have a story to tell, and we're the mothers. I look at the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, story of when he first got the message. It was a woman that calmed him down and reassured him that he wasn't crazy and that this message came from God. So, you know, we're so powerful, and I feel like the way that we are, the way that we have these restraints on us, and it's almost like, you know, we feel just blackballed. You know, it's unfortunate, because we can add to so much change and contribution to, you know, the problems in society and what's going on in the world. And it's, you know, there's no definitely no doubt that there's an age difference as well, you know.
As far as
between
the age difference, as far as what, back in the day with people who was doing civil rights, or today's civil rights?
No, today there's an age difference in the divide of, you know, in Black Heroes, you mentioned Willie Lynch's letter. And I definitely, I do a lot of research as well on Joy DeGruy post-traumatic slave syndrome. And one of the things that I do see is, you know, the fact that we are stagnant because of different ideologies about blacks in general and Black Muslim women. I kind of lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Hey, but it's all good though. I'm gonna tell you though, as Black people, we thought, boy, we got to work harder than these other folks to try to get something. As Black men, we said, we had to work even harder. Then you got the Black Muslim. You guys, Muslim women, definitely, y'all. I thought we had to work hard as Muslim and Black Muslim, but Black Muslim women, oh my gosh, you guys got to work to try to change the narrative.
My husband is speaking because he hears my mouth and my voice and my complaints daily, just about.
I see it. What you talking about? I got two eyes.
Yeah, as far as how we're stifled, and you know, we don't get the same opportunities, and definitely how we're glossed over, and thus this series on Black Muslim activists, you know, which is coming out of the in response to the Essence piece, where we were just I guess invisible, you know, at the point that we're not out here and we're not doing the same things as other people. Not only necessarily the same things, but probably even doing a little bit more, you know, than some other people that, you know, were notable. So
exactly, and I totally agree. I mean, your work alone, you know, it is remarkable. I feel like you and your husband should be in every Muslim ad. You guys throw so much for, you know, community, for youth, for education, financial. Like, I admire you so much. So I witness as well. I have eyes where I can see, you know, the it's an unequal treatment, and that's again why we really have to cater to the whole essence of, okay, well, we are a marginalized community as Muslims, but we are being marginalized in a marginalized community, and I just don't feel like that's really often at the table. As far as opportunities go, it's again, the Willie Lynch syndrome does also, I feel like, affect our community as far as turning, you know, the men and the women against each other, the old against the young, and vice versa. And also it goes back to the opportunities, because we're such in this system with ourselves and trying to figure it out ourselves, and then we end up, you know, kind of dropping the ball where we should collectively come together as a Black Muslim force, you know, or as a Black Muslim commodity, or whichever you would like to term it. And I feel like there's just so many restraints.
Well, alhamdulillah, sis, we definitely appreciate the feedback and the recognition from yourself, but we're going to keep this on you, because this is about Alia Sharif. And what would you most like to be remembered for?
Yes, like Malcolm X, you know, he wanted to be remembered for his sincerity, even in his mistakes and all of his trials and different stages of Malcolm X. You know, he was sincere. And I would also like to be remembered for that, because I feel like I relate to that 100%, for sincerity, you know, for my sincerity and my efforts to unify our people, and to bring a message, even when we're in a time where, you know, things can be all bubblegummed up and sugared down. But I've always just tried to uphold some kind of message, you know, for our people, and being sincere in the process.
Okay. All right. Well, before we get out of here, tell our listeners how they can get in touch with you.
Yes, you guys can find me at Alia Sharrief, AliaSharrief, or you can go to AliaSharrief.com. All my stuff is on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Bandcamp. Hit me up. I'm on Twitter, every social media you can think of. Send me a message so I can say what's up, inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you so much for being here and being a part of our Black Muslimah Activist series. And we definitely look forward to greater
Fight the power.
things. Oh, she definitely fights the power. Greater
Fight the
things
power with that
coming up out of your camp. And maybe next time you go on that stage, maybe you can have an entourage like Public Enemy, you know, and it could be, you know, you could be surrounded by some soldiers, you know, or something. And because, you know,
she ain't gonna be wearing no Muslimah clock now.
Imagery is everything. Imagery is everything. But yeah, we're going to get out of here. So, what you got, guys? Thanks, Alia, for being here. We'll be right back.
What you hear is Jess is the world famous Wonder Mike. And I'm Hidden Diggity Dog, the one and only P9C. This is Master G. And you check it out, Prison World, Acapella Radio, baby. Keep it locked. You heard? Woo! Cheers!
Food for thought. Food for thought.
Food for thought. I ask all of our Black Muslimah activists to give me a quote that goes in association to their grasp on activism.
I got a quarter.
I said quote. Our guest today, Alia Sharif, said, and I quote, "Don't be in a hurry to condemn because he doesn't do what you do or think as you do or as fast. There was a time when you didn't know what you know today." And that's her quoting Malcolm X. So that's a quote, quote, unquote, unquote. Okay? Lord knows I used to be much more slower than I was today. I've always been kind of quick, but...
How slow was you?
I've always been kind of quick, but I've been slow to grow. I've, you know, kind of stuck in my ways. I was slow to grow. So we all eventually
What you mean back in the day? That's today.
Don't even play. Why are you playing?
Huh? Girl?
We all eventually grow into who we are. We find our passions and purpose and start shaking things up. And I think that's a good thing because maturity looks good on some people. Anyhow,
It look good on me, huh?
Moving right along.
Look good on me, girl. You look good on me. I'm checking it out.
That's it for the food for thought for this week. Just a few announcements before we go. Books. Surviving Marriage in the 21st Century. Our book, our best-selling book, Surviving Marriage in the 21st Century, is available on Amazon.com. Pick it up as 10,000 other folks have picked it up. Jobs for Felon, resources for those with a criminal record. If you know someone that is struggling, has a criminal record, it's a good resource for them. Pick it up today.
I know some people without a criminal record.
They could use it too.
All right, then. That's what I'm talking about.
There's information in there about getting a job, okay?
Help them out.
Check out our TV show, Lifestyles with Rufus and Jenny. Season 1 is on DVD. It is available on Amazon. We are currently filming Season 2, coming to Muslim Heat. Season 1, Episode 1 is actually on our YouTube channel, and you can find that at Rufus and Jenny. Freebird Publishers, check them out for your incarcerated loved one. They have books written by inmates, but they also publish books for inmates. Okay, so if you are looking to get published, if you have someone that is incarcerated, wants to get published, tell a story, books, check them out. Freebird Publishers, freebirdpublishers.com.
Hope they telling the correct story. Don't just be telling any story.
Prisonworld magazine is available on Amazon. It is a #1 bestseller. It is our magazine celebrating 10 years in print, and it goes into the prison system domestically and internationally. And you guys can get single issues at prisonworldmagazine.com for a single issue, or you can go to Amazon and gift a subscription to an inmate because people are always looking for a subscription to the magazine. Please note, everything that you hear here is acapella. Acapella, I know it sounds like y'all jam and everything, but everything you hear here is acapella. If you would like to submit something, send it to prisonworldradio@gmail.com. That's prisonworldradio@gmail.com. And remember, you can stay connected via the Big Six, what I like to call on social media. Facebook at Rufus and Jenny, Twitter at Rufus and Jenny, Instagram, Triplett World, YouTube, Rufus and Jenny TV, Pinterest, Rufus and Jenny, LinkedIn, find me, Jenny Triplett. You can also log onto our live stream on our website, RufusandJennyTriplett.com. Hit the live stream button. Go to TV and radio, hit the radio live stream, and you can listen 24/7. You can find our archives on iTunes and tune in, Prison World Radio.
You can find me too.
Find you where?
I'm going to bed in a minute.
Oh my goodness. You can call in
I'm
to
about to
listen.
be
If
out.
you are stressing your data plan and that's just too much data for you because our shows are an hour or you want to listen to our stream, you can call in at 701-719-5174, 701-719-5174. Put it on your Bluetooth. Put it on speaker, put it on your Bluetooth speaker, Bluetooth it in your car, just hook it up all the way around and you can continue to listen to us.
I'm tired just after hearing all that.
I'm not even done. We'd like to thank all of our global listeners around the world. Thanks for tuning in. You guys are so loyal and you continue to find us. And like I said, I looked up our charts yesterday and our stats, and you guys are definitely tuning in all around the world. Thanks to our special guest, Alia Sharif. Yeah. Be sure to catch us tomorrow for episode 7, the finale. We are bringing it home with the finale.
Well, how about I just take a nap or something?
You ready to ride, dear? You ready to ride?
I need a bunk bed. I'm putting a bunk bed up here.
I am your host, Jenny Triplett, and attached at my hip is my co-host, Ismail.
Just tired, that's all.
We've been fighting the power for a mighty long time, y'all.
Can't hold my eyes open no more.
Fighting the power. God is one.
I'm getting weepy.
And we leave you in peace. DJ, take us home.
I'm back on the street. I'm a real OG. I'm back on the street. I'm making money. Growing up on the streets, I wanted to make a change. Now I have a family and baby. I can't find a job to pay me more than minimum wage. That's no way to make a living. In the middle of the night I see my homies drinking 40s, shooting crap at the corner store. It's a way to get paid. That's a way to make some money. I'm back on the street. I'm back strong, keeping it real. On the street. I'm a real G. You see, I make my money right. I'm a real OG. I'm a real OG. I'm back on the street. Making money. I'm making money. Living life in the fast lane is really not the way. Saw my homeboy, he got shot, trying to run a game. My girl, she knows that I really do wanna give her the best things in life that I can give her. Quick money, a new home, diamond rings, a brand new car. I never want my child to be out in the streets. No easy outs, no guarantees. I'm back on the street. Back on the street, yeah. I'm back on the street. I'm a real G, yeah. I'm back on the street. Back on the street, yeah. I'm back on the street. You see, I make my money right.
Buck Wild is here in your left and your right ear peep. Now that I'm back on the streets, for real, it's time to chill. And all I cared about back in the day was making a deal. Logged out G yesterday, but today's a new day. And when I had conflict, there he lay, I didn't play. When it came to hustling for mine, now it's time to rhyme, make a dime, gotta get mine. Today's the day, tonight's the night. I've opened my eyes and now I'm seeing the light. 5 years out of my life was not fair, they didn't care. I served my time, now I'm out of there. What will I do? It seems like everything's changed. I no longer have to go out and gang bang or slang, and now it's time for me to creep Down with Trip, cause Buck Wild's back on the street.
I'm back on. Imagine that. It ain't no way I'm going back. Biggity back. Imagine that. It ain't no way I'm going back. I'm back on. Imagine that. It ain't no way I'm going back. Biggity back. Imagine that. It ain't no way I'm going back. I'm back on. Imagine that. It ain't no way I'm going back. Biggity back. Imagine that. It ain't no way I'm going back. I'm back on. Imagine that. It ain't no way I'm going back. Biggity back. Imagine that. It ain't no way I'm going back. I'm back on. Prison World.